it now looks like Mitt Romney is elbowing his way into this race, pushing his way in. I think it plays into the worst stereotypes about Mitt Romney as being too eager, you know, the kid who sits in the front of the class and raises his hand at every question.
Yeah.
And so I think that Romney really actually is in worse shape today than he was a couple weeks ago. The polling, I think, reflects name ID. People know who he is. I don't think it holds up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Susan Ferrechio. She is chief congressional correspondent for the Washington Examiner. Hey, Susan.
Hey, great to be here. Hi, Steve.
Always great to talk to you. All right, let's just get the Romney thing out of the way. I mean, is there much talk up there, especially among Republicans or Democrats, as to whether or not people want him in, don't want him in?
Well, I think people are kind of skeptical about a Romney candidacy. But, you know, when everyone talked about Jeb Bush entering the race a few weeks ago, people are a little bit lukewarm about his candidacy, too. I think it's really early, and a lot of times on Capitol Hill, the initial responses from people are, you know, this is a race that's, you know, a year away, and that there could be a multitude of candidates. People's loyalties are also divided, too. You know, it depends who you ask. People don't want to put down Mitt Romney, but I think the idea is that, you know, there could be a lot of candidates, and Mitt's had his chance, but people aren't saying, hey, he should stay out. You know, he's also polling ahead of everybody, and, you know, you can't ignore those numbers. So, you know, I think people are not thrilled with any of the candidates right now. There's no big front runner. You know, you look at the Democrats and you see, oh, Hillary Clinton's out there as the favorite. You don't see that over on the Republican side. There are divided loyalties here on Capitol Hill, and there are a lot of people who really just don't know, and they want to see what happens. And, you know, I do think that there's a general wariness about somebody running again who was the nominee the last time around and didn't win. And there certainly is a sense that
right.
It didn't work the last time. How's it going to work this time?
Right. All right, let's move on to the State of the Union tonight. Of course, Mitch McConnell saying, you know, no more tire tax hikes. I mean, Obama's proposed taxing the quote-unquote rich in, I think, every state of the union, correct?
Well, it'll be an appealing proposal for the base, and that's important for the president. It's because he's doing a couple of things. He's trying to establish his legacy on his way out the door. He's got 2 years left, but he's got, in those 2 years, the Congress run by Republicans in both chambers. So it's about establishing his legacy, and it's not. He is a liberal president, so for him to propose tax hikes on the wealthy, it shouldn't shock anybody. I think what this speech will outline, though, the fact that he's going full speed ahead. He's not going to triangulate the way Bill Clinton did and try to really get something done, like welfare reform or some big initiative with Republicans and have that be his legacy. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to go out as the president and said, I tried to do this, but Republicans stopped me. And that's the second thing that accomplishes this speech is it sets a marker down for Democrats going into the 2016 election as the party that cares. But don't forget the one factor that Republicans still shudder over when we talk to them about the 2012 election is the exit poll number that showed just how disproportional voters viewed Republicans versus Democrats when it comes to who cares about them. Republicans are seen as the party that doesn't care. And now for Democrats to come out and say, look what we're trying to do to help you, and Republicans only care about the wealthy, this is along that theme. And I think that's what they're honing in on in the speech tonight. I think that's what the Obama administration is trying to do.
Why did the Senate capitulate? And tell me if I'm misrepresenting it. Why did they put off a bill on Iran sanctions? Why did they bow to the president's wishes on that?
Those negotiations, you listen to what people said on Sunday, you know, there still is a strong desire to move sanctions. There are members on both sides of the aisle who want sanctions, Democrats and Republicans, who are really interested in going harder on Iran right now. Now, the president has said, look, we're going to negotiate, and we'll negotiate better without the stick approach that the Republicans want to establish. You have to also question, they can pass an Iran sanctions legislation, but where is it going to go at this point? You know, the president's not going to support it. He's asked them not to do it. I think it's not happening at the moment, but it's not dead by any means, because Republicans and Democrats are still talking about it. And as I heard on Sunday when I was listening to Senator Ron Johnson, who's the Homeland Security chairman, that they don't have a lot of faith in these negotiations. No one is expecting the president to come away with a deal that makes America more secure by stopping Iran from building a nuclear weapon. Nobody has faith in that.
Right.
So I don't think it's truly a dead issue right now. It's maybe dormant for the moment, but it's definitely not dead.
And very briefly, Harry Reid is back?
His office announced this morning that he has returned to Congress. He had been working from home since Congress convened earlier this month, but he was badly injured in Nevada working out at the gym with one of those exercise bands.
Right,
I don't know if you've ever seen those.
Yeah, and it threw him, yeah.
Snapped in his face. And he's got his right eye still covered, and apparently this may have permanently damaged his vision in his right eye, which is too bad.
All right, well, he is
he's
back
back at work.
And he will be at the State of the Union. Susan, thank you very much. Great to talk to you again.
Thanks a lot for having me.
All right, Susan Ferrechio, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the political science professor at the University of Maryland and Baltimore Sun columnist Thomas Schaller. But that'll be after the break. First, though, let's take a look back at the day we lost the king of rock and roll. You know him, you love him. His name, Elvis Presley.
August 16th, 1977 is a date forever remembered by music lovers throughout the world as the day the King died. Born a twin on January 8, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis Aaron Presley's twin brother Jesse died at birth, leaving the future entertainment legend to grow up a single child. After making his first recording at age 19 for Sun Records, 1 year later, RCA bought his contract, and within 2 years, Elvis Presley emerged as an international recording sensation. But at age 22, young Elvis was drafted into the Army. He declined special service status and trained alongside regular soldiers at Fort Hood before joining the Army's 3rd Armored Division in Germany. After 2 years of service and meeting his wife Priscilla, Sergeant Elvis Presley returned to civilian life and went on to star in 33 films and break records for his television specials and appearances. But concerts were always his first love.
It's my favorite part of the business, is a live concert.
80,000 people lined the streets as a parade of white limousines made their way to Graceland to pay their final respects. Today, Graceland remains the 2nd most visited home in America after the White House. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.